Aloha. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Hawaii Coffee Association 27th Annual Conference, Trade Show, and Statewide Cupping Competition, our 13th. Thank you all for being here. We're very excited. We've got a tremendous crowd. We've got unbelievable sponsors, really robust group of exhibitors. I want to thank everyone for coming and really appreciate it. It's been a long time since we've seen many of you. A lot of old friends, new faces. Thank you so much. So I want to kick off the conference this morning. We're very honored to have Ms. Jane Clement is with us. She's the Executive Assistant to Mayor Mitch Roth of Hawaii County. Jane, can you join us on the stage?
Thank you, Chris. He even got me a matching lei. Good morning, everybody, and aloha. Thank you so much for coming back to our beautiful island of Hawaii. It's so nice to see people face to face once again and be able to really talk to each other, see eye to eye, and just being able to gather here, it's a really wonderful thing. So welcome everybody to Kona. I am here on behalf of Mayor Mitch Roth, and he sends his regrets for not being here today, but I am very honored to read his message on his behalf. And it reads, Aloha. On behalf of the residents of the County of Hawaii, it is a great pleasure to welcome friends, visitors, presenters, and sponsors to the Hawaii Coffee Association's 27th Annual Conference, Trade Show, and 13th Statewide Cupping Competition on May 19th through 21st, 2022 at the Outrigger Kona Resort and Spa on the beautiful island of Hawaii. Built on the pillars of sustainability, the Hawaii County industry has never been healthier or more diverse. The countless varieties, innovations, and business models have created an exciting industry unlike any other in the world. This premier multi-day event brings together a vibrant and interactive group of industry professionals at the top of their field for interactive workshops on cupping, roasting, and field grafting, along with the always popular statewide cupping competition awards ceremony. Best wishes for a full weekend of education, connection, and fun. Done this 19th day of May, 2022, signed Mitchell D. Roth, Mayor. Chris, may I present this to you? Maybe we should probably move.
Too much light.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for coming, everybody. I guess I can't believe this is our 27th annual HCA conference. I don't even remember the first one, but apparently I was there. I really want to thank the committee to setting this conference up this year. It's been, I think this is one of the best. So I hope you all enjoy it, and I thank all our sponsors and all the vendors and all of you that are attending. So I'd like to, Donna Woolley is the chair of the conference committee, and I think let's give them a big hand because this really is a great one. She's walking a little slower nowadays. Oh, this is off. Chris? I'm turning the floor over to Chris.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom Greenwell. Tom's a living legend in Hawaii coffee. He's a great guy, super supportive, tons of knowledge, and he's very generous with all of it. Big hand for Tom Greenwell. Thank you again, everyone, for coming and for supporting the HCA. You know, we've had a lot of firsts around here. Our last live conference in 2019, we were on Oahu. We had 159 attendees. We were conservative planning this one. We expected 100 people. We've got 237 signed up. Our highest exhibitor total previously, also on Oahu, was 17. Today we have 27. And our highest sponsorship total previously was 27. We've got 40 today. And a new one just signed up yesterday, Matson Navigation. So big hand for all of our sponsors. Thank you. We've also got growth in membership. July of 2021, which is when our members usually renew, because that's historically when our conferences have been in July. We had 84 active members. As of as of today, we have 149 members, which is an increase of 70%. So maybe we're doing something right. Also want to thank the Outrigger for this incredible venue. All you folks that attended the cocktail party last night, that was a lot of fun. I haven't been to an event like that in a while, and I hope you all appreciate it. I know I did. A lot of happy faces there. Also want to thank our board, who's been super supportive, starting with Tom Greenwell of Greenwell Farms, Fred Cowell, and if you're in the room, please step forward, introduce yourself, and meet Abby for lay presentation. Fred Cowell, Kauai Coffee Company. Fred. Brittany Horn, Pacific Coffee Research, is also our secretary. Does an amazing job, not only with the secretary, but she also manages the cupping competition, our 13th. We're very excited about that. You know, we started that cupping competition 13 years ago, and the intent was to draw awareness to Hawaiian coffees, but also to increase the bar for quality for Hawaiian coffees. So a friendly competition among the islands. You know, we've done that. We've seen improvement in quality year in, year out, innovation, distinctive coffees, and also gives an opportunity to market them and the participants in the competition. So a big hand for Brittany, as well as all the competitors in that competition throughout the years. And also a big mahalo to Dave Gridley, who's the brainchild of the cupping competition. David, Maui Oma, please step up and receive a lei. Dave Gridley represents the Maui Coffee Association on the board. And for those of you that don't know, the membership numbers that I gave you, 149, you know, our members are member companies. It's not just an individual member we're talking about companies. So all the employees, all the people associated with that company are also part of the HCA. Everyone on the board, they don't hold that seat for themselves. They hold it as a representative of their company. Donna Woolley, if you haven't escaped, Island Sun Coffee. Donna also keeps us on our toes. She's the treasurer, minds the books, does an outstanding job. Thank you, Donna. Julie Burden, if you're here, I haven't seen you yet. She's with Hawaii Agriculture Research Center. So Ming Lee or Sayoka, if you could come forward for HARC and receive a lei. On behalf of HARC. HARC are tremendous partners, especially in the present day where we're dealing with numerous challenges. Kelly Stewart, if you're here. Big Island Coffee Roasters. There you are. There's an innovator if I ever saw one. Amazing. Heavenly Hawaiian Farms, Dave Bateman. Dave's been with the association longer than me. And his hair's a little bit whiter. When I first met you all, I had no gray hair. At least I don't need glasses still to read the program. How many of you guys having trouble reading the program? Sorry about that. It looked good on a computer screen. Ryan Nakamasu, representing Honolulu Coffee Company. Ryson. I got the last name right. Honolulu Coffee Company, Ryson. He's responsible for brewing the coffee today, which has been challenging this morning because we've got twice the people we expected. We blew through the coffee pretty quickly. Had to make some last-minute adjustments. And the coffee that you sampled this morning at breakfast, although it was identified as Mocha Natural, it was actually Casey Shim's coffee of Shim Family Farm, the oldest coffee farmer on Maui, with a wash typica. So thanks to Casey, thanks to David for making that available. Another gentleman who's got whiter hair than me, Hawaii Coffee Growers Association, Kimo Falconer. Kimo's our chair of the Government Affairs Committee. Another great guy. Thank you, Kimo. And here's a partnership. Here's a partnership that we treasure. And in years past, I can remember when we always didn't see eye to eye, but we made a conscious decision to try and unify Hawaii's coffee industry to the extent that that's ever possible. A warm welcome for the Kona Coffee Farmers Association, Suzanne Schreiner. Suzanne will also be presenting later. She's the administrator for Synergistic Hawaii Agriculture Council, of which the HCA was a founding member, another powerhouse in the industry. Been nailing lots of grants and funds and doing a great job. Thank you, Suzanne. Another new entry to the board is Kona Hills, Joe Vigliarolo, whose name I also hope I didn't screw up. Joe? I got that. But instead of Joe, we'll have Farrell. Come on up, Farrell. Represent your company. Kona Hills, one of the largest new farms in Kona. Welcome. Thank you, Farrell. Don't disrespect us. Get up here. Be embarrassed like everyone else. Double time. Next up, Ross Uehara Tilton. Ross, are you here today? I don't think he is. Is anyone else here from the Curb on Oahu? Well, we'll clap anyway. Next up, another innovator in Kona is Monarch Coffee, represented by Abigail Munoz, our lovely lay presenter. Thank you, Abby. And lastly, me. Thank you. I also want to mahalo our committees. And this is something that we're really proud of. I remember the days at HCA where no work would get done unless for a few hours on a Wednesday morning at a board meeting. So basically nothing would happen for a month, and then you'd meet for 4 hours and fight about everything, and then leave, and then come back in a month. So we've kind of broken that up, and we've initiated and executed a very strong committee system, whereas the majority of the work is done outside of board meetings. The committees do a lot of work. There's committee chair, there's volunteers on the committee, and each committee comes with a report to the meetings, and then the board debates and acts on them. The committee will make a recommendation, and the board is there just for decision making. So the net result of that is our board meetings are a lot shorter and a lot more productive. So I want to thank all our committee chairs and also folks who serve on those committees. First, with communication and education, is Joan Obra. I don't know if you're here, Joan, but if you are, thank you. She's fantastic. She's Lori Obra's daughter and spouse to Ralph Gaston, 3 powerhouses down in Ka'u, very dear to me. Also on that committee is Julie Burden, Alex Brooks, Suzanne Schreiner. And a major part of that committee this year was our Grown in the USA social media marketing campaign. And we have to thank our friends at Hawaii County R&D for awarding us that grant, where we reached more than 1 million Facebook and Instagram users across the country to promote Hawaiian coffee. And we moved it around throughout the process of that campaign and used it not only to promote Hawaiian coffee, but test markets. So we started out in San Francisco, LA, kind of low-hanging fruit. But we know interest is strong there. So we went to Houston and Dallas and Atlanta and New York. And we tested those markets to see what kind of click-through rates we got. We found out New York was really, really strong. So kind of helpful, not just from a direct marketing promotional standpoint, but also data collection to find out where maybe our next emerging markets are. Not that New York is really an emerging market, but just knowing that New York, interest in Hawaiian coffee is so strong there, my hometown. So thank you to Joan and all the folks on the Communication Education Committee. Our conference committee, again, Donna Woolley, folks that served on that committee, Dave Gridley, Brittany Horn, Ryson, Nakamasu, Abby Munoz. Our finance committee, led by Donna Woolley and Abigail Munoz. Fundraising and events is Ala Kostenko. I can't really say enough about Ala. All of you have met her. I got to say, some people ask me, what are you most proud of for HCA? And one of those is partnering with KCFA. And the other is hiring Ala. Because Ala has just done an outstanding job. She's enhanced and amplified the efforts of our volunteers and expanded the capacity of our organization. So a big hand for Ala. Government Affairs, Chemo, Suzanne, Fred Cowell, myself, Tom Greenwell. Membership. So a lot of those numbers I mentioned earlier about membership wouldn't be happening without Ala, yes. But also Jonathan Sechrist. Jonathan, please step forward and be presented with our small token of appreciation. Jonathan's also our webmaster, and he manages all this from a great distance. We certainly appreciate him very much. Another pillar of Kona Coffee. Thank you. So those are our standing committees that are outlined in our bylaws. We also have ad hoc committees. Our nominating committee will be voting tomorrow afternoon on your new board and officers, led by Dave Gridley, Dave Bateman, and Tom Greenwell. Thank you. And for all the folks who stepped forward to serve on the board, thank you. Bylaws Committee, Dave Bateman, Ross Uehara-Tilton, both attorneys, thank you. Legal Committee, likewise, Ross and Dave. The Cupping Committee, which is a highlight of this conference, led by Brittany Horn, Dave Gridley, Alex Brooks of Monarch Coffee, and Kelly Stewart, Big Island Coffee Roasters, thank you. And this next committee is interesting in that a lot of folks have mentioned to me, just in the short time we're here at this conference, hey, I see a lot of new faces here. And yeah, that's true. And a lot of them don't have white hair like me and Chemo. So a lot of that stems from the conscious decision that we made to reach out to the next generation. You know, we all know farmers in Hawaii are aging demographic. Farmers everywhere are aging demographic. So where's the next generation of farmer coming from? So we had the first Hawaii Coffee Champs on Oahu in 2019. Huge success. And we're hoping to build on that. And through that, we've created, with the help of Madeline Longoria Garcia, also of Pacific Coffee Research. Madeline, you here? We created, with her leadership, she created, the Hawaii Coffee Association Cafe Collective Committee, which is targeted towards a new demographic that represents the future of Hawaii's coffee industry. Focused primarily on folks in coffee shops, baristas, and we have the signature beverage contest tonight at HICO. So we're looking forward to that. It should be very exciting. And the way that's structured, it's structured much like the HCA, that we have representatives from all the islands. We are a statewide organization, although we're in Kona today. We move this conference around every year. Last time we were here, I think, was 2017. But since then, we've been on Maui and Oahu. And each island has a representative. So for Hawaii Island, it's Madeline Longoria Garcia and Kelly Stewart. Maui is David Hall and Dave Gridley. Oahu, Julie Burden, Ross Uehara Tilton. Kauai, Ben Fitt, Fred Cowell. And a big hand for the Cafe Collective Committee and our next generation of coffee producers in Hawaii. Thank you. One of the other activities that SHAC does in partnership with HCA is we put on a booth, a display booth at the Specialty Coffee Association. Just a few short weeks ago, we were in Boston. So that's led by SHAC with HCA and our volunteers. And we also had an appearance at a Taiwan trade show a few years ago. We look forward to doing that again. And I'd like to congratulate someone who's hard to miss, and that's Ralph Gaston of Ka'u, Isla Coffees. Ralph's a tremendous leader in putting on those trade shows, and all the folks that travel great distances and donate their time to promote Hawaiian coffee. Also, Garen, his last name escapes me, from North Shore Creative Group, and he's one of our exhibitors. So please visit Garen. He's got some swag available. Also on that committee is Ala Kostenko, Brittany Horn, Madeline Longoria Garcia, Abigail Munoz, Julie Bird, and Sean Steinman, who I saw earlier. Sean, another leader. Kelly Stewart, and Brandon Von Damitz. Thank you all. And on that SHAC board, so the HCA, SHAC is and Suzanne will get into this in more detail, but basically it was an organization that was established to partner with other agriculture associations in Hawaii, mainly floriculture and papaya. Well, that's evolved over time. But each commodity gets board seats, and our seats are held by Ralph Gaston and Madeline Longoria Garcia, and the administrator of that, as I said, is Suzanne Schreiner. So yeah, I'm proud of all the things we've achieved together as a board, and I salute you and congratulate you. Thank you. Thank you all. And I congratulate all of you as well, because we've survived COVID. You all deserve a round of applause for yourselves to make it here and to honor any that we've lost. So when the whole world was reeling from the pandemic in Hawaii, we're also dealing with another layer of challenges posed by the introduction of coffee leaf rust. So the HCA rapidly sprang into action in the fall of 2020 and began leading biweekly multi-agency calls. These were joined by Hawaii Department of Agriculture, who's here in force, I must say. Congratulations to Phyllis Shimabukuro-Geyser for empowering her staff to meet the challenges of Hawaii's agriculture across the state. Let's have a big hand for Hawaii Department of Ag. Also on those calls is USDA, PBARC, Pacific Basin Agriculture Research Center. Big round of applause for PBARC. And APHIS. I know what APHIS stands for. Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service. And I can't find the notes, so I had to remember that. Also on those calls is University of Hawaii CTAR. Andrea Kawabata, are you here? I know I saw you there in the background. Another powerhouse, as is Julie Coughlin, who's with the IR4 program. Thank you to UH. Tremendous outreach. You know, in Ka'u, I remember when we didn't have an extension agent. It wasn't that long ago. And there was this like turf war between whether Ka'u was Hilo side or Kona side, and because they were fighting it out amongst each other, we got nothing. Really nothing. We didn't know who our extension agent was. And now we have Andrea Kawabata. You'd think we have 5 extension agents. I didn't know you could fit that much into such a wonderful package. Thank you, Andrea, so much. So on these calls, we've established long and short-term priorities to deal with the response to coffee leaf rust. And these calls have had a net effect of keeping everyone informed, making sure there's no overlap, being super efficient. So every second week, everyone gets together, and a lot of you folks have been on those calls. They're open. And they're also recorded, so if you miss one, you can go to our website and look at CLR News, and you'll see the recording from the last call, and you can watch it, see what's being said, what's going on, stay up to date. So we fast-track permitting, thanks to Department of Ag, EPA, for translaminar fungicides. And we learned this from dealing with international partners around the globe who've already managed the response to coffee leaf rust. So we hit the ground running, and working with University of Hawaii, IR4, HDOA, and the manufacturers, we were able to get, and also the Hawaii Coffee Growers Association, I should say, we got permission to apply Preaxor. That was with BASF. That was on a Section 18 permit. Next was a special local need permit. We got approval to use Problad Verde with Sim Agro. Also want to say a special thanks to Ariana Wood. I remember when she was just a kid running around HCA conference. Now she's performing vital research for our industry, efficacy trials for Problad Verde. So if she's here or families are here, Ariana, thank you. Also, a big thanks to Reggie Hasegawa of Nutrien, who's been constant on those calls, and Don Yadon with SimAgro, and all the folks at BASF, and Chemo of the Growers Association for making those tools available for Hawaii's growers. So that was the immediate put out the fire situation. But our long-term priority is to identify rust-resistant varietals that are already growing in the state. We expect to be doing that more with P-bark and aphis. And then look at ways to make those available to growers as quickly as possible. So we have a very, we have a very robust schedule of events. Everybody's worked very hard on it. And we tried to address the needs of the industry. We tried to respond to those as quickly as we can. And invite all of you to join us for our government affairs update at 10:45. led by Kimo Falconer. There'll be an update at 11:15, Hawaii Department of Ag. UH at 1:15 will give an update. USDA PBARC will give an update at 2 p.m. SHAC will give an update at 2:45. And then we go into our award ceremony at 3 o'clock for the 13th statewide cupping competition. At 10:45, we have the Cafe Collective. You can meet those folks, a Seed to Brew Roundtable, led by Madeline Longoria Garcia. And a cupping workshop at 1:15, led by, who's the roaster? For the roasting workshop. Oh, the roasting champ. Okay. Okay, the roasting champ. From HCA, yeah? HCA roasting champ. And then at 4:30, we're going to go to the Kona Brewing Company. We've got a tour there. The buses leave at 4:30. And right across the street at Heiko, at 6:30, is the Cafe Collective Signature Beverage Barista Competition. That sounds pretty exciting. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock, HARC will give its update, led by Dr. Ming Lee Wang. Soil Health by Melanie Willich at 9:45, that's tomorrow. There's been a lot of talk about availability of workers, guest workers. So we've got CISO is going to give a presentation at 10:45 on H2A. Important for everyone who hires guest workers or needs to. And then the big news is 12:45, we've got traceability news from Oratane. We signed an agreement with Oratane recently. Wherein we can build a radioisotope map of the entire state. So each origin will get a fingerprint of trace elements so that if any coffee is suspect in the marketplace, we can pull it off the shelf, either roasted or green, test it, and see if it's what it's supposed to be, what it's purported to be. Did it come from Kona? Did it come from Ka'u? Did it not come from Kona or Ka'u? So those are important for counterfeiting, yes, to thwart counterfeiters, but also to build trust and integrity and marketability of Hawaiian coffee. So we create awareness in this traceability. That'll enhance the product for all of you folks who are producing Hawaii-grown coffee. So that's a partnership with Oratane that we've been working on, and we're very excited about that. So thank you to Oratane and the leadership of the board to make that possible. At 1:30 tomorrow, we've got on-farm technology. A leader in that in Hawaii is Fred Cowell. Very interesting what Fred does over on Kauai. I'm sure you all appreciate that. We've got an update on member benefits from Hawaii Farm Bureau, an interesting partnership there, Brian Miyamoto. And then at 3:30, we've got our elections of a new board and officers. Also tomorrow at 9, we have the coffee roasting workshop. Nick Berardi, here he is, SCA U.S. roasting champion. And then field grafting workshop. We're very excited about that at 12:45, led by Ben Fields. A lot of folks are going to be, we're working on getting these varietals into the state or making available the ones that are already here. And the idea of replanting your farm is pretty daunting, right? Especially in rocky soil. It'll be very expensive. So we've partnered with HARC, and through HARC, we got to Ben Fields, who will be teaching field grafting. And he's been doing field grafting over on Oahu, has a super high success rate, something like 90%. So instead of thinking about replanting your field, the next time you stump your field, The idea is that you'll have plant material to graft onto your existing trees. So when they grow back after stumping, you won't actually lose any production, because you stumped anyway, but your new tree will be rust resistant. So we're very excited about that. Unfortunately, we're only we had to limit that class size to 30. And again, we were only expecting 100 people today, so we're well over 200. So we hope to put those workshops on again and again, but we encourage you to avail yourself of those resources. And then at 6 p.m. is our annual dinner. We'll be giving some honorary awards for the HCA, which I think we'll find to be exciting. We have Congressman Kai Kahele will be speaking at the dinner, and I encourage you all to attend. So the other thing that I want to share with you is for all the folks that are here, there's a lot that aren't. And I want to encourage all of you to recruit at least one person to join the HCA. We'll double our ranks and invite them and honor yourselves to volunteer, give back to your community, and to be a part of something bigger than yourself. So with that, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank our board. I want to thank our volunteers. I want to thank our sponsors, our exhibitors, and hope you have an incredible conference. Thank you. Also visit the silent auction early and often, and our trade show exhibitors. American Ag Credit, Bendig, Captain Cook Coffee Trading Company, Center Scale, Delta Technology, FedEx, Gearmore, Kona Coffee Cultural Festival. The Kona Coffee Farmers Association has an exhibitor booth at the HCA conference. I could have never predicted that. I'm so happy. Konalicious Organic Coffee Company, LDO Market, Lind Insurance, Maui Economic Opportunity Board, North Shore Creative Group, Nutrient Ag, Oratane, Rishi Tea Botanicals, Sustainable Agro Solutions, Sataka, I think that's Sataki, Simplot, Sterling Pacific, Sim Agro, thank you, University of Hawaii CTAR, U.S. National Agricultural Statistics Service, Field Office. Those are the guys that count all the numbers for us. And you know, a number of years ago, we had a very strong effort and it was a sustained effort, where we were annoyed that coffee all over the world was measured in green bean and we were measuring it in cherry. So it made the size of the industry smaller than it actually is. So over a sustained period of time, working with Chemo and others, we kept petitioning the USDA and said, why are you not measuring us in green bean like everybody else? So when you compare Colombia to Hawaii or whatever, we know what it is. So anyway, the value of our industry increased overnight, just by the way you're looking at where the product is in the value chain. So that was huge, and we have to thank the National Agricultural Statistics Service for finally hearing us and implementing that change. Veritiv and WECO rounds out our exhibitors. Also want to thank our coffee break donors, Greenwell Farms, Honolulu Coffee Company, Ka'u Local Products, Kauai Coffee Company, Maui Grown Coffee, Maui Oma Coffee, and Tradition Coffee Roasters.